Hey, I'm Mighterbump, and this is the first print of the modifier deck for Flat Chances. It contains two sets of cards. These are all modifier cards for my other Flat Chances dice. So these two modifiers can work with the regular dice pack. Most cards can work with the blueprint deck, and these modifiers can also work with my acrylic token versions. And the neoprene mat. So I have the deck divided up into two different modifiers. One is coins, and the other one is programs. To give you an example, here is a regular D6 from one of the D6s from my dice deck. And I'll show you how. I'll take 3 coins because it has 3 flips indicated on it. So all 3 are tails. So tails, tails, tails equals I rolled a 2 off of this card. But if I use one of these cards after I roll, so a coin is for when you want to modify a roll after it's done, and programs are for when you want to modify the dice before a roll. So I roll a 2 on here, and let's just go with a swap coin modifier, which means I can swap any 2 of these out, which both are heads. That would be a poor choice because they're all tails. So if I want to use flip-flop coin, I would basically have to change this one to heads, because on flip-flop, after the first flip, all following flips for this roll do not share the same result back to back. So it would be tails, heads, tails, which then change this roll for a different output, which is tails, heads, tails, which means I got a 3. If I wanted to modify it before this roll, so let's put this back. So if I want to do it like a tumbler program, which means that I would choose a target circle, one of these 3 circles, and I would basically put this on the card, on the dice, as indicated that it would be like part of that until it's removed by either your game session or your game master having an event where you can remove modifiers from your dice. So tumbler that means I would reach a target circle, one of the 3 target circles, and then move counterclockwise. And let's add one more. Opposite day. Opposite day program basically takes all heads as registered as tails, and all tails registers as heads. And I want to have the target tumbler be the middle one. So let's roll again. tails, heads, heads. So tails, heads, heads would be originally 4, but because of the tumbler and opposite day, I would be heads, tails, tails. So heads, tails, tails. And because of tumbler, I would then move counterclockwise, which means that I would have heads, tails, move over here, and then tails, which I got a 3 again. And if I want to add on to that, considering that was before the roll, I'll redo 1. Heads again. And it's still number 3. And if I have, like, these cards are in my inventory, and if I want to shapeshift 1 card, which means I get to choose which card to change a card. I would then, let's see, I already did reroll, retry, and then shapeshift. So if I want to have the most out of this, I would have to have tails. So all 3 are tails, which means that opposite day and tumbler program are still in effect. That means that all are heads, heads, heads. Now I would get a 1 out of that. But if I wanted to modify, let's say, try to change this to tails, so that way it's heads. So tails, heads, heads, tails. Still a 1. And if I move that to be the shapeshift coin, it would be heads, tails, and then heads, which would be a 4. Well, and then if your game session, I have hard rules and soft rules. Hard rules are basically that programs are only put onto dice before you roll, and can only be removed if the dice changes, and they can only be put on 1 dice at a time. So if you have multiple dice cards, those programs only affect that dice. But coin cards, after you're done rolling, the soft rule for coin cards is that they return to the player's hand after the roll, so they can be applied to different dice at a time. Well, I hope you find this interesting. These are the dice cards, and these also work on the all-in-one dice. But these modifier cards are available on their own deck through the Game Crafter. So these are Flat Chances Modifier cards. They don't have any dice cards in them, so you would need to basically have a deck, or use my free PDF on itch.io to use with the conjunction of the modifier deck. After this, I actually finished off translating all the other previous dice and made 16 more special cards, much like how I have a special card for a rock, paper, scissors. And I have a special card for a 8-ball. But the fourth deck that I just finished, and I'm going to order for the first print, is the Prototype and Miscellaneous deck. It actually has 16 special cards, and the dice card versions of my PDF version, my acrylic tokens, and the neoprene mat. So that way you can get all those previous versions into its own deck, plus 16 different variations of special cards that has either chores, weather, decision tree to choose weather, decision tree to either play a whole deck of playing cards. I have one special card for that. And I also have a special card for like a roulette and D&D alignment, and role-playing alignments like lawful good, lawful evil, and all that, and then damage types and other ones in there that I had specially made for that deck. So that's going to be coming out soon, and I'll show you that. But I just wanted to show you the modifier deck and give you a brief explanation on how to do that. Hope you enjoy it.